So you want to run a sandbox, or precariously more yet, your players have asked you to run a sandbox. And yet you've been through this before. You made a sandbox, it was pretty perfect at the first glance, and you let players roam through it and prepare their interests and stuff, and yet they wouldn't bite a single hook. Seemingly they don't like hooks, or they don't think there are any hooks, even though you provided them with opportunity after opportunity for their interests that they stated that they have. And yet nobody went anywhere, nobody did anything, nobody even expressed any desire to move, and after all that they ask you how come there was nothing to do. And then you tear your hair out. Because you made plenty of things to do and you just expected them to do stuff, and you provided even clues and hints and predispositions of people, places, everything. Nothing worked. Well, how do you actually run a sandbox and not run into this problem? How do you run sandbox with ease? Why would you or would you not even run a sandbox? Well, it is very nice to run a sandbox. It's perhaps the most relaxing thing for a dungeon master because you're able to experiment with your world. You are able to let people do what they will, and you're able to see what comes from it, and you're able to narrate from it and practice your DMing, your navigation through your world, your storytelling, your characters, your things, your everything. And you can watch things unfold. It's wonderful to just have a world, have good players, and watch them play, and you just DM. It's the ideal. Yet, many players are very reluctant to really act without heavy-handed hinting at the very least. And more commonly even, needing to put story right in front of them so that they can watch essentially a cinematic, so that they can get a direct idea of who's the ultimate bad guy, who they should chase, and what they should do. And if this wasn't somehow specified for them from two different third parties, they don't do it. Why is this? Well, it could be due to video games, but I don't know. I always imagined how we could actually do our own things in video games when I wasn't yet a D&D player whatsoever. So I wonder whether that's about that or something else. Maybe it's because of the premise of a game. If you invite people to a game, then maybe they expect things to play out and they to just react to it. Whatever the case may be, one way to actually make that sandbox go is to prepare very thoroughly in some specific tactical ways that I'll list now. So firstly, you ask all your players before even anything of the planning starts, you ask for their interests of their characters, so that you know what those characters are supposed to be doing. Of course, it's not necessarily true that the players will know what they'll want to be doing once they start, but if you discuss this at length, in the manner where you sort of get into it deeply with them so that you know what they enjoy, what they're hyped about, what activities they want to pursue, what do they want, both as a player and as a character, what do they want to sort of live through. Because maybe at first glance they want to be some sort of Tarzan in the jungle or whatever, but maybe their actual desire is more to be some sort of a monster hunter, or maybe they just want to be some sort of returnee to the civilization. You never know which part of the trope are they mostly focused on, even if it's a trope, or even if it's not. So you need to explore this with them, and if they're your friends and you have the time, friendly conversation about their favorites is the best way to achieve this. And then you can plan more appropriately, and then you can even sort of ask further questions as you go along with development, asking them, would you prefer this? Would you like this sort of thing? Do you like more that there are vehicles that you can use to do this activity, or do you like that there's no vehicles? Or something like that. Because you see, for some people, the whole thing, perfect as it is, can be a deal breaker if there's, say, vehicles in it, as opposed to there not being any vehicles in it. And this is just a random example I know of. So, you know, like people complain about gunpowder weaponry in classic D&D-like stuff, for example. A simple gunpowder weapon can be a deal breaker for some people. For some others, a potato could be. For some others, coffee being drunk in the tavern could be, and so on. due to various reasons known only to them. Because it's not like you're running a historically accurate period piece on exactly the right country that they specified. So, best to find out what you're in for, so that you can make that sandbox for them. But most of you have already done this, and this is not enough by itself. Somehow there's still some sort of lag between provided opportunity and the sandbox, and the players taking up that opportunity and exploring that sandbox world. And mind you, not all players are like this. I mean, I would love for somebody out there to DM for me a lot, and then I can go and do sandboxy things, because the way I play is that give me a world and I'll make my own activity. I'll make my own activities aplenty, and I'll enjoy myself, because as long as the world is good and I like it, I'll be able to find what I want to do. But not everybody plays like that either. So there's many players, and you want to be sure that some of them will play and others will go along with them, and then those will get opportunities too, and so on. So in order to get the wagon out of the ditch, you prepare sort of clues of how things will be worthwhile. You want to make sure when action unfolds that immediately your players know that a quest is worth doing, that an activity is worth doing. Yes, it's really incredible that you are selling activity they proposed back to them, even though that's what they were supposed to like. But people have gotten used to objective being pointed out by a reward. So that's what we'll do. We'll present things as always being rewarding when you want them to go at it. So if a character is a gladiator, maybe there's a big huge prize for winning the whole arena, ladder or whatever. If they go to the tavern, maybe the tavern keeper tells them that only such a hero as they of the arena might be able to solve this and that thing, that he has a friend that he's concerned about and that needs your help. Because, oh, brave gladiator, who else would do it if not you? So, even without any irony, that's how any player, whether good or bad, will recognize the quest without getting insulted, because you're not actually trying to insult their intelligence, you're just trying to cater to every scale of perception until you hit something that people really love to do, because you don't want to just have them do something that they might like doing. You want to get them doing what they love doing, because that's what role-playing is about. We want to do those most fantastic things that we always dreamed of. So until the campaign clicks and people are doing that, we're trying to find that. And that's why we're doing this, and not actually trying to baby anyone. We're just trying to scale those entryways into perfect activity. So whatever the character is or looks for, make sure to give them the rumors, the premonitions, the abilities to perceive the huge bonus rewards that progress their level, their power, their items, their status in the world, their everything. And usually pack it with multiple things, because you don't know which rewards are very much attractive to which person. So you want to sort of put some big, huge rewards, rewards that they need in order to progress for multiple things. And this is another good trick that I mentioned in earlier episodes, where you make sure the quest has things for other party members as soon as one person is listening about it, so that they can both participate and convince the original person to take it, because it's a great opportunity for the whole party and whatnot. So do that. Do all of that. And make sure to go heavy on what I said of it being only you adventure could do this, because you're my friend and I know your specialty, and whatever is very personal, very calming to the mind of the player, whatever they feel comfortable with, whatever they feel calls out to their role, because you want to address their character role so that they raise their hand and take the adventure hook peacefully and nobody gets hurt. So, that is how you really run a sandbox properly and easily. I'm Em, and welcome to the DM table. Hopefully, if you have some comments for me, I'll see them down there, and you won't leave me alone here to just stare at the silence. Until next time, bye.